Good morning, fourth graders. This is Mrs. Cassett, and we are going to be working on 7-7. I have us starting with a little mental math and fluency because we are doing something different right now, and I want to make sure you guys remember how to divide. So the first one is 63 divided by 7. This is a basic problem. Remember, with division, we can always turn it into a multiplication story. And by doing that, you could say 7 times what equals 63, or 63 divided by what equals 7. 7 times what equals 63 is, you should know, is 9. Okay. Your second one, 42 divided by 6. Again, you can turn that into a multiplication problem, or you can leave it as a division problem. 6 times what equals 42? 6 times 7 is 42. And the last one, 36 divided by 4. 4 times what is 36? Well, 4 times 10 is 40. That's too high. So 4 times 9 is 36. All right, guys. So now we are going to move on to the story problem of the day that correlates with what we are working on. Again, we are working on multi-step division story problems. So multi-step means that you're going to have to do more probably than just divide. So here's your problem. This is the I do, and then we'll do one together, and then you'll do one. Josh and 2 of his friends own a lemonade stand. On a hot Saturday, they sold $171 worth of lemonade in 5 hours. Wowzas. They needed $36 to pay for their supplies. If the boys split the remaining money evenly, how much did Josh make per hour? So the first thing we need to note is that they made $171, and it cost them $36 to have the lemonade stand. So the first thing you need to do if you want to find out how much money they made is you need to take away the cost. So I'm going to do 171 minus 36. Okay? When I do that, 1 minus 6 is not 5. I cannot take 6 away from 1, so I have to borrow. I'm going to make this a 6, maybe. Make this an 11 now. Okay, 11 minus 6 is 5. 6 minus 3 is 3, and there's 1 there. So there's how much money they made. They made $135. Now we have to decide, there's the division part of this problem. So 135, and we need to figure out how much Josh made. Well, Josh and 2 of his friends had a lemonade stand. So if I have $135, and Josh and 2 of his friends are splitting it, I'm going to divide by 3, okay? And this is where we use some of those tricks that we've learned in the past, where we say, okay, 3 times 10 only gets me to 30. So 3 times 10 isn't going to get me nearly close enough to start with that. So then I start moving by 10. So I say, okay, 3 times 20. Well, 3 times 2 is 6, so 3 times 20 is 60. 3 times 30. 3 times 3 is 9. So 3 times 30 would be 90. Okay, we're getting closer. Let's try 40. 3 times 4 is 12. So 3 times 40 is 120. I like that one. So I'm going to do 40. And I said that was 120. So I'm going to subtract 120. Okay, and that leaves me with 15. So now, ooh, that 40 is kind of messy. There we go. So now I have 3 times what will get me that 15? Well, we all know 3 times 5 is 15. I subtract that 15 and get 0. So now what I do is I add this up. How much money did each boy make? Each boy made $45. So Josh made $45. Okay, but now I even have one more step I have to do here because it's per hour. I just noticed that per hour right here. So he made $45 in the time they were there. But how much is that per hour? Well, they worked for 5 hours. This has lots of steps to this problem. They worked for 5 hours. So 5 times what equals 45? They made $9 per hour. That is your answer total. Okay, lots of steps to that problem. All right, now we are going to work on a problem together. So this is a we do. So I did one for you. The biggest part in these, you guys, I will tell you, is keeping yourself organized so that you can figure out what the steps are. Because there's a lot of information in these. So we're going to read this one. It says make an estimate and then solve. So Margaret and this is, this is on page 245 in your workbooks. If you want to follow along in your workbook, that would be awesome. Margaret and her friend have 2 summer job offers. A job babysitting is for 8 hours each week. With Margaret and her friend both working this job, they would earn $208 each week. A summer camp job is for 7 hours each week, and together they would earn $210 each week. Which job pays more per hour for each girl? How much more per hour? So first, babysitting is 8 hours a week, and it pays $208. Summer camp is 7 hours per week, and it pays $210. Okay? So right away, you should look at this and you should see, well, the summer camp, they make $210. The babysitting, they make $208, and they work longer at babysitting. So right away, you should say which job pays more. Obviously, the summer camp pays more. So we can answer that right away. Excuse me. Okay, so we can start with that right away. But then we have to figure out how much more per hour. So summer camp. Okay, summer camp. Okay, the summer camp pays more per hour. And now we're going to do the math to figure out how much. Okay, so now we're going to figure out how much they would make babysitting first. So $208. Well, first of all, we can divide that by 2 because there's 2 girls. So $208 divided by 2. That one should be pretty easy. If you break $208 in half, each girl is going to make $104. Okay. All right. So that's how much they're each going to make. But then we have to figure out how much they would make per hour. So $104 divided by 8. So you guys can see I don't have a lot of room here, and writing on this screen is kind of tough. So please be patient with my organization. So I'm going to start with 8 times 10. 8 times 10 gets me 80. You know what? That's pretty close. So I'm gonna leave 10, and I'm going to subtract 80, and that leaves me with 24. Okay. Now 8 times what equals 24? 8 times 1 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 8 times 3 is 24. So I'm going to do 3. I'm going to subtract that 24. So each girl at summer camp gets babysitting gets $13 per hour. I'm going to make that note up there. Okay. All right. Now babysitting, they make $210. Well, if I divide that by 2 again, they would each get $105. All right. 105. But this time they're only having to work 7 hours. So we're going to subtract or divide it by 7 there. So 7 times 10 gets me 70. So I'm going to start with 10 again. I like friendly numbers. Okay, that leaves me with 35. Okay, and 7 times what equals 35? 7 times 5. Subtract that, and I'm left with 0. Okay, all right, so in this job, they make $15 an hour. Awesome. Okay, so we said summer camp job pays more. We figured that out right away because they worked less hours and they made more money. How much more per hour per girl? So we already divided into girls. So at the babysitting, they make $13 an hour. At summer camp, they make $15 an hour. So they make $2 $2 more per hour per girl if I subtract those. Okay, and I'm going to go down here. An equation with letter for unknown. Well, there's multiple equations that I could have used here. Equation with letter for unknown. My unknown was how much they were going to make. So my equation could be, well, there'd be two parts, for one for each part that I solved. But it would have been the 208 divided by 2. It's hard to make my division sign, guys. Oofda. And then we're going to divide that by 8. That's my unknown. Okay. So, all right, now we are going to do our last one. This is number 3. So I believe this goes down to page 246 in your math workbooks. I'm going to go through this, but this is one I want you to solve on your own and then check your work here, okay? So first I'll read it to you. Jeremiah and Jeff are raising money for the art club. Jeremiah raised $117 selling 9 raffle tickets. Jeff raised $144 selling 8 fruit baskets. Which cost more, a raffle ticket or a fruit basket? And how much more? Okay? So again, Jeremiah, my estimate, Jeremiah raised $117 and he sold 9 raffle tickets. Jeff raised $144 selling 8 fruit baskets. So I think obviously the fruit baskets cost more because he only sold 8 of them and he made more money. Okay, but now I have to figure out how much more. So again, this is a multi-step problem. You have to figure out how much each raffle ticket was first, and then you have to figure out how much each fruit basket was next, and then you have to figure out, do your subtraction at the end to figure out how much more they were. So go ahead and pause me here. I want you to try to solve this on your own, and then you can check your work here, okay? So Jeremiah, so here's the work I completed for Jeremiah. Doing my division, $117 divided by 9. I was figured out that each raffle ticket was $13. So now I'm going to do my work for Jeff. Great, having done the work for Jeff now, you can see that each fruit basket, when I took 144 divided by 8, I was able to find that each fruit basket was $18 each. So now I'm going to answer my questions below. So the blank are this many dollars more than the blank. So I can see that the fruit baskets are $18 minus $13, $5 more than the raffle tickets. Okay, so that is the multi-step problem here. What I want you guys to do moving forward is I want you to try to solve number 2 and number 4 on your own. Again, this is using division and number stories that have multiple steps, so it's going to take you some time to solve these problems. Do your best. Work your hardest on them. I want you to do number 2 and number 4 in your workbooks on page 244 and 245, I believe, where the page is. Lesson 7-7. Thanks so much for listening today. Have a great day, guys.